Good evening once again. Thank you for joining us for the 10 o'clock edition of the UBC News Tonight. My name is Wadulo Arnold Mark, and I'm going to be taking you for the next 1 hour. So do sit tight. Let's give you these news updates. In our top story this evening, President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, the NRM chairman and presidential flag bearer, has promised to improve the infrastructure of the Lango sub-region as campaigns intensify. Now, while addressing 15,000 NRM leaders at Lango College in Lira City, Museveni said that he would review proposals for enhanced eastern access, noting that communities like Namasale face unfair travel distances due to limited tarmac. The president was responding to concerns raised by NRM Chief Whip Hamson Obua, who highlighted Lango's low tarmac road coverage, just 5% rather, and requested upgrades including the Dokolo Beta Abako Aloy route to boost trade, tourism and regional accessibility. President Museveni urged Lango to support the NRM in 2026, citing the party's achievement in peace, infrastructure and wealth creation. He also revealed ongoing discussions on possible monthly support for select grassroots leaders, but emphasized long-term empowerment through programs like Operation Wealth Creation and the Parish Development Model.
Know the lack of peace.
Luak melao ngea be ritual ngoti mereka kuchpe.
In 1971, there were victims. I knew so many people who were killed in 1971 by Idi Amin.
Mwahapira birwi achiel anangeo jo pol ritual medang ti lao kan ame kwogi ubinu ruenyo nyome nehogi ikare meloch at gamente me Idi Amin.
So many people whom I know personally.
Timagi koma pola me anu ngeogi koma bear.
Including the one who had recruited me in the civil service, Abdallah Nyuru.
Ngaracheli yeubero Abdallah Nyuru me anu ngea bear enadangri hucho I teach.
People like Major Ayum, the brother of Adoko Nekion.
Ngaracheli ye nuberu Major Ayumu ame nuberu umina Adoko Nekion adang dong kwa merpe.
Dr. Ibine.
Ngaracheli yeubero Dr. Ibine.
That was 1971.
Mane mwahapira biru ya chiel.
Then 79 we had other fights.
Ekai piera bir we bongwen luenyo kene Dr. Beratie.
Then 85, 86.
Kere doi piera bor we beach, kere piera bor we bichel.
Then the rebels, Kony, all that.
Ekate mede dong ikopu duya kony kere no kene dong apolata.
Then the cattle rustlers.
Te binu do kopu kuo dok.
So the NRM leading the population, including Amuka and Arab boys and others, we have been able to bring peace to Uganda now. This peace now.
NRM kun kuber kere yongeta papat medukera muha te tiyu ticha ber te ke lukuchi Uganda de chani babu chingwa po manno.
And all these people who are challenging NRM, nobody has contributed anything to that peace.
En korijona lohi baba kom NRM peti moro timu ginora twal iduogu kuchi Uganda.
So you the people of Lango, you must be very serious. It's not a joke. You cannot go on playing around with Uganda. Uganda is not something to play around with. Most of the jobs in the world come from the teach of the individual, of the family, of the companies.
Pola teach ameti wilobuni na wuni nani pe ober pe government na miu du duonger ya ibodjo ameo tute ate yele te nungu lonyo teach nya ya pol out te choyu jokene mecha ku teach bodgi.
Those who give our people the idea that jobs are from the government are really enemies of our future, or they don't know.
Jo ame beru binu bod jo ko buni a government pe mi uti government mi uti pe ni jo no beru kuora jo pien gin pe kobe ko pateni pe mi wingeo kiramati nuere kere.
Now, this example of Lonyo, of an individual creating teach for the Ugandans is in agriculture, just on the side of agriculture.
Dong man kodingechien ame creating kere teach nyo alonya chiel yele ate nungu lonyo mere te nya adung te nya you teach te cho you teach you kene me tia ko teach bore
Small scale agriculture.
eka ko me pur I ruam me ping nyo I ruam matino.
But I don't know whether these people have discussed how many of the NRM leaders could be paid. We shall have to discuss and agree, and why.
Mir kong do bet ping eka uteneno kodutela mene me NRM me mir chul dan ka chul gini nuo chul ge pian chul mir bet pitien kop ame nudang cho ping do teneno tien kop ngo kakana mo do nyi ye me chul lutela ni.
Because you cannot pay all of them a salary.
Pian dushu pe chule.
It's impossible. It's too much.
Petuere ngau ko dano ko.
There are millions.
Pian welgiti millions.
But some, like now, we are paying the administrative secretaries.
Enti chawani jo ame wanu tu cholo uber jo luni administrative secretaries me NRM.
After discussion, we shall have to agree on whom do we pay and why.
Kawanu beru ping utene no ngao kene do ame miru chol keru cholo ni cholo pi kope tien kopango.
That is salary per month, per month, per month.
Manu no chola me cholo due uchara.
But what is easy and productive
Eru kina yot amedang tiye
is one-time support to create wealth.
Ubero nuong kira me chuak kor luak megin nuong lonyo I pachigi keri chiaogi.
And we had done it in the rural triangle when I started with Sare for the Operation Wealth Creation. You remember the old parties like UPC, DP, members would pay membership for subscription to get cards.
Ipo yu na bero to ala da putia timerna chiawani pot you kane bali UPC gi DP gi yeno kane kyo kaini me to bera member I will bera member wila I cholu kiente e ka te choyi me bera member.
But for us we rejected that. We said how can you ask poor people to contribute?
Erbo wan binu kwer manu ko te ko bikari ramo penyo dana me ubera chan ningo ni kong will bera member wila me bera member me pati ko chol chiene me bera member.
It should be the other way around. Support the NRM families and other Ugandans to get out of poverty, to have lonyo, then they can voluntarily contribute if they have got extra.
Dong miero unity maluch ko in kai beru party political party ko cha kong konyu kor te dero ko migi tamaber kaino lony amegi nor dong ti chao mere ene na doctor dugo me cha ko konyu party eru yin pe cha penye ni cha konyu party kunen pur bera chan.
Now finally I'm going to study the issue of the eastern axis, the one you talked about, the one going from Aloy going instead of coming you want to bypass Lira to go to Amoratal. Very good. That one makes sense.
And in more news tonight, the First Lady and Minister of Education and Sports, Mrs. Janet Museveni, has welcomed a group of former opposition members from Madiokolo district who have renounced their former affiliations and officially joined the National Resistance Movement, NRM party. The delegation led by Madiokolo woman Member of Parliament Joan Okia was received by Mrs. Museveni at the State House, Nakasero. The team included prominent former opposition figures such as Mr. Abdul Hakim Moli, a former commissioner of the Forum for Democratic Change, Mr. Victor Wadri, a former FDC parliamentary candidate, and several former mobilizers and district executives from both the FDC and the National Unity Platform. They pledged loyalty and commitment to the NRM's vision of peace, unity, and socio-economic transformation, championed by President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni.
Mrs. Museveni cautioned the young people against participating in political violence, tribalism, hatred, and destructive election practices that have historically destabilized African countries.
Mbwenu yoni nyenda kubashaba ngo ntungamo twanje okurwana twanje ntaro twanje okwangana twanje tutera karuru twine kitukumanye.
She encouraged the youth who are organized under the Ntungamo Youth Task Force for NRM to mobilize respectfully, help elderly voters avoid compliances because of the large crowds at campaign rallies, but to go out and cast their votes and ensure a high voter turnout on the election day that will deliver the NRM victory.
This is the only homeland we have on planet Earth, and God has given it to us once again on a silver platter, so to speak, for your generation, for sure. We must protect our gains, what has been put in place, and then pray for a qualitative leap now, believing that God is going to bless us, and that's all we have been waiting for is coming, and really Uganda will take that qualitative leap. For me, as an individual, this is my homeland. I'm not just doing it for the member of parliament. I'm not just doing it for the president. I am doing it because I care that my homeland continues to develop.
The First Lady also spoke passionately about character as the foundation of national development and emphasized that true development begins with strong personal values. She challenged the youth to prioritize honesty, integrity, and respect, qualities she said are essential for building a prosperous nation.
Really, a human being is more who they are. Nabasa kushoma kurungi munonga, qualifying at that level, batunga za degrees and degrees. Konko muntu nabasa ko bayine ebyo byona, konko ari omuntu utakwesugwa, utaine respect omubantu, utakufulfillinga purpose ye.
The youth lead chairperson Nkwasa Philip presented a statement on behalf of Ntungamo Youth Task Force, reaffirmed the youth's loyalty to the NRM and to President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni.
Mama, kwichereza ngu tulina kuturya we are under one umbrella NRM. Sabana babikirize kumanya ngo twine kuma eberungi ebyakozirwe government age. Kwiha etwaro bwebemezi bwihangeri from an enclave society to now a modern society iturumu. Mwentwehire mama nguturokutwa kwasoma barinja NRM.
Reporting for UBC, Bakuma William.
The Minister for Kampala, Hajat Misa Kabanda, together with the Kampala Central Mayor Salimu Huru, have today presided over the groundbreaking ceremony of a new multi-million four-class block at Chitante KCCA Primary School, a donation coordinated by the Bengali Indian Association Uganda. This school management welcomed the donation, saying that it will reduce the current classroom congestion with a school population of over 3,500 pupils and a teacher-classroom ratio of 1 teacher to 163 pupils.
So I'm so grateful because you promised and you have fulfilled. Thank you very much because you are doing this on behalf of our country. This is Uganda, you are not Ugandans. At least you have given us something which is so great. As the mayor has mentioned, for us, we shall keep on talking about it. And even I'm going to brief the First Lady that as the Minister for Education, that the plan is out and we are going to start our great building. I know you have assisted us, like you've mentioned. The place is also congested.
Because this is a win for all of us. There's nothing else we can give our children other than secure premises for learning. The teachers have been complaining. Teachers I'm happy to see this great achievement, Chairman. Thank you for well done job. However much your term is ending.
As we talk, we have an enrollment of 3,500 pupils. So it's a very big school with only 22 classrooms. So today we are here to receive a classroom block. And who are we, Peter and Tate? We are really pleased, we are very happy.
We really felt, yes, this is the school we are actually looking for. Seeing the head teacher and the whole thing, we felt the school is really doing very well.
1 to 53, but you can imagine for us we are 1 to 61. We are badly off.
Children are our future. Let us build our future bright. This is our motto.
We appreciate us as parents, as leaders, to see that our kids are in a better environment, better arrangement of classrooms, because they were all congested in different classes.
But very aptly Sitaramji term that this is, we are doing for future of the country. Children are the future of Indonesia.
Nakawa Division Mayor Paul Mugambe has had a cleanup exercise in Ntinda Chigowa, joining members of the World Mission Society Church of God in a community effort aimed at boosting sanitation and strengthening public participation in local cleanliness campaigns.
Today we've carried out a community general cleanup in this place of Bukoto, Kulambiro, together with our great partners, the World Mission Church of God. The place is now much better. This will go a long way in preventing diseases, creating a good environment, but also in the process we have been teaching our people on how to handle garbage, especially polythene, bottles and others, so the community will not be the same. This is not the first time. Actually, this particular place, we are cleaning it, I think, the second time, together with the World Mission Society Church of God. But this is not only the place we have cleaned. This work with the World Mission Society Church of God has been done all over the division. We have always cleaned different places, educated our people on how to handle garbage. So with this church, Nakawa is not the same. We have benefited a lot, and we really want to extend our sincere thanks to the World Mission World Mission Society Church of God for the generosity, for the care for our people, for the commitment to making the world a better place. We've not been doing only cleanups with the World Mission Church of God. We have schools have been supported, kitchens have been built, water has been provided to schools, scholastic materials have been provided. A lot has been done.
The reason why we carry out this exercise is to promote a health environment for the communities around us, because a health environment is like the fundamental of the life of mankind. So we are so grateful and very happy. Actually, we not only carry out this activity, but we also carry out other volunteer activities. For example,
the aim of this cleanup is to promote sustainable urban environment for happy living of the communities around this area. The Church of God has carried out various activities around the world. For example, we have carried out over 44,000 initiatives like this, and for this cause we have received various awards, 5,400 awards from different governments and institutions. We do all this in order to promote the love of God, God the Father and God the Mother, who has set us an example of love, sacrifice and also service for the humankind.
The charge d'affaires at the South African High Commission, Soli Sebola, has urged the Public Relations Association of Uganda to represent the country to combat fake news, which discourages potential investors. He made these remarks during the 9th Excellence Awards organized by PRAO in Uganda, in Kampala.
During the event, Sebola emphasized that fighting misinformation is key to building investor confidence.
US proud, you are actually the brand managers of Uganda outside the shores of Uganda. In times where misinformation and disinformation, fake news travel so fast, you have the duty and responsibility to demystify those misinformation.
Pilau President Irene Nakasita noted that this year's awards were based on the level of innovation demonstrated by public relations officers in their respective organizations.
For us, we are rewarding innovation, we are rewarding excellency. We want to promote this across the country and the globe, to see how Ugandans tell their stories, how Ugandans brand their companies, how Ugandans are able to curate narratives that tell stories about companies and organizations that we work for.
She also called on CEOs to involve PROs in boardroom discussions, not only during times of crisis, but as part of everyday strategic decision-making.
CEOs, most of the time you wait for when crises occur. That's when you remember that the PR person should sit with you as you take decisions. For us here, we say in public relations, the PR role should be a boardroom role, because the person will not profile the entity, will not tell your story if they are not part of your decision-making process. Here is an opportunity, and I call upon all MDs, all employers to appreciate the value of public relations.
The manager of public relations at the Uganda Broadcasting Corporation, UBC, Wilfred Senyange, stressed that UBC prioritizes effective communication with the public and will continue to support Pilau's initiatives.
As UBC, we so much believe in effective communication. That's why we have been able to be a part of Public Relations Association of Uganda Excellence Awards. And we will continue supporting PROW. We will continue to support communication in all sectors amongst government agencies.
Among the categories awarded were Best Public Affairs Campaign, won by the Electricity Regulatory Authority ERA, Best Non-Profit Campaign, won by the Uganda Red Cross Society, Crisis Communication Award, won by Equity Bank, Best Media Relations Award, won by UEDCL, among others. Mike Bakablindi compiled this report.
The Karimojong have been urged to embrace available opportunities and work hard to transform the Karamoja sub-region. This call was made by the UNDP country coordinator Mwane Vwede Obanor during the graduation of 180 trainees at Moroto Technical Institute in Napak district.
The beneficiaries, including school dropouts and former cattle rustlers, completed 3 to 6 month vocational training under the BRIC project implemented by Better World and funded by UNDP and KOICA. They received startup kits in tailoring, hairdressing, wood technology and other trades.
That they go down and then they start with a small starting capital. Like fashion and design, if you look at, they have given them a cloth to start and then the machines, all the necessary basic machines, tools rather, to use, so that they come up with.
As soon as you have partook in this project, you have seen that life can be different. And I hope that you embrace it and keep going towards that act of
Vwede Obanol encouraged the graduates to use their skills and tools to improve their livelihoods. Vwede Obanol encouraged the graduates to use their skills and tools to improve their livelihoods.
Today, you do have an expectation of yourself. You have got a foundation from this project. And I hope that dream is not just for you. That dream goes beyond you. That dream is for your family. That dream is for your community. And that dream is for the better you. The you that if people were to see you in the next 3-4 years, they would not recognize.
Minister for Karamoja Affairs, Peter Lokeris, officiated at the ceremony and applauded development partners for supporting youth empowerment.
Profession is a noble profession. You know, once you have knowledge is there, immediately you finish.
Beneficiaries shared testimonies of how the training has already begun transforming their lives.
Calling me for the work because some people, they don't know how to make their sides, and also they need.
the level of the windows and those sides on. That's why they are calling me that side of Tapash, Moroto, Abim where.
Start using the startup kits at home like me, and I'm doing fashion and design. But first start at home when I'm planning
I'm planning to at least to upgrade my skills and get something better than how I am today, so that I can get something which is better than today.
A fully equipped computer laboratory was also handed over to Moroto Technical Institute.
We are indeed very happy. We shall also become computer intelligent.
The BRIC project, running since 2023 in Moroto, Kotido and Kabong, aims to promote peace, security and sustainable livelihoods.
And with that, let's take a short commercial break and be back with more news. Please do not move an inch.
Your way to Morocco with Uganda Cranes and MTN. Simply buy a Gaga bundle by dialing *100*0# and stand a chance to win a fully paid trip to Morocco. Gaga your way to Morocco with Uganda Cranes and MTN. Together, our fire is unstoppable. Fire! MTN. Terms and conditions apply. MTN Uganda is regulated by Uganda Communications Commission.
This is our home, our land, our Uganda. From the rolling hills to the busy streets, from the farmers in the fields to the students in classrooms, we are one people. Elections are a time to choose our leaders, not to fight our brothers and sisters. When violence enters the ballot box, the future of our country is wounded. But when peace leads the way, our nation grows stronger. On election day, choose unity over diversion, respect over hatred, and dialogue over distraction. Love your country, protect your fellow citizens, stand for peace, and say no to electoral violence. This message is brought to you by the Global Election Observation Mission, JOM, in partnership with the Uganda Electoral Commission. Informed citizens, strong nation.
Kabogos, where are you coming from?
From NSSF.
NSSF? You traveled all the way from Namavundi to get NSSF services. Rekanawe. You walk on the area. NSSF is now everywhere. Come on, I show you.
Yakabande pakabanda Register for NSSF I contribute your simate life Never deep down in the barara Make NSSF payments No wahala okubeka langala NSSF sure is not far But tomorrow kuhika gotido Enjoy NSSF from where you are.
Access NSSF services right where you live. With over 20,000 quick teller agents across Uganda, now you can conveniently register yourself, make NSSF payments and contributions to your Smart Life account to Ubeda. NSSF, a better life. Gaga your way to Morocco with Uganda Cranes and MTN. Simply buy a Gaga bundle by dialing *100*0# and stand a chance to win a fully paid trip to Morocco. Gaga your way to Morocco with Uganda Cranes and MTN. Together, our fire is unstoppable. Fire! MTN. Terms and conditions apply. MTN Uganda is regulated by Uganda Communications Commission.
Step into elegance, step into confidence, step into La Vie Boutique. Located at Grand Imperial Hotel, Shop 6 and 8, right behind Bank of Uganda. La Vie Boutique brings you high-class corporate and casual wear for men. From sharp designer suits and crisp shirts to stylish casual t-shirts, tracksuits, shoes and accessories, we've got everything to make you stand out. Call us on 0772 419 181 or 0705 555 558 La Vie Boutique, where class meets style.
Power your moment. Techno, the global partner of AFCON 2025.
Welcome back. You're still watching the UBC News Tonight, broadcasting live.
The Muslim teachers were commended for advancing professionalism among Muslim students.
The team behind this project has not been sitting. They have been working tirelessly to see that we realize this dream, which is a dream for the Muslim teachers, first of all, for the community at large, but also for the entire Ummah.
This was contained in the speech by the Permanent Secretary, Minister of Education and Sports, Dr. Kedres Tuliagenda, read for her by the Commissioner for Higher Education, Muzammil Mukwatampola, at the UMTA Dinner and Conference in Kampala.
Carry a unique responsibility, not only to teach academic content, but also to nurture learners in discipline, integrity, compassion, and respect for others. These values are deeply rooted in Islamic teachings and the essentials for building cohesive, peaceful, progressive communities. I commend UMTA for strengthening mentorship, moral guidance, and community engagement in your schools. Your work is an important pillar in our collective mission to mold learners who are both knowledgeable and morally upright.
Mukwatampola also reassured the teachers that government is aware of the challenges they are experiencing.
I encourage all of you to reflect on the achievements and challenges you have encountered, to renew our dedication to the noble profession of teaching and continue serving with humility and integrity.
This year's UMTA dinner and annual general meeting coincided with unveiling the construction of the resort.
In more news, nurses are also advocating for equal treatment and recognition alongside doctors, stressing that both professions are integral to delivering quality health care. Uganda Nurses and Midwives Union President Sherop Justus Kiplangat says there is urgent need for nurses to be recognized as equals in the healthcare system.
The Uganda Nurses and Midwives Union has stepped up efforts to tackle challenges facing nurses and midwives nationwide. Addressing nurses at a workshop at Eureka Hotel in Tinda, Uganda Nurses and Midwives Union leaders, led by President Sherop Justus Kiplangat, highlighted the ongoing neglect of nurses. They noted that leadership roles and career opportunities are still largely dominated by doctors, stressing that nurses work alongside doctors and deserve equal recognition and improved welfare amid rising living costs. The union noted many qualified nurses remain unemployed due to limited opportunities and called for nurses to be recognized as professionals, not just assistants to doctors, emphasizing their vital role in healthcare.
Being a hospital director, in most cases it is about decision making, it is about signing a check, ensuring that the people are paid. Really, a nurse who has a master's degree cannot sign a check and people earn salaries. But the hospital has been gazetted that the person to do that is a doctor. These are the things we are talking about.
Because they look at nurses as subordinate to the doctors. That doctors take themselves to be more important than the nurses. But there is no way a doctor can work in a hospital without a nurse. So we are so equal. A doctor does his own role, a nurse does his own role. We are quite equal. But other places, people are underlooking us.
Uganda Nurses and Midwives Union urged the government to lift the ban on nurse exports, allowing legal overseas employment to reduce unemployment.
We call upon the government to create more jobs for the nurses. The government should lift the ban to export nurses abroad because we are many and we have no jobs.
Noto Chairman Okelo Musa encouraged nurses and private facilities to join unions and protect their rights.
It's not safe for you to be alone out there. Join unions because it is difficult for an individual to confront the employer in many issues. But when you're together in a union, then it's easy for the union to talk on your behalf because the union sits with the employers basing on the collective bargaining agreement.
Let's work together. Let's strengthen our profession and serve Ugandans.
An undersecretary in the office of the President, Emmanuel Walani, has urged schools to adopt strong value-based systems to shape learners beyond academics. And this report shares with us more details.
Speaking at the Olive School Namugongo's School Day, Walani said performing arts have become a vital pathway for the young people since the turn of the century, with many Ugandans now thriving in the industry.
A combination of the performing artists as well as academic excellence would not only revolutionize the future performing artists industry, but also give it the face, give it the character, such that even when a performing artist 15, 10 or 30 years to come goes on stage, be it at local stage, nationwide, or even international level, he's able to reflect 3 or 4 critical things that should define a Ugandan. 1, patriotic love for this country. 2, God-fearing. 3, the aspect that we can all progressively grow. We can become socio-economically transformed.
He applauded the school for integrating arts into its learning environment, saying such exposure builds confidence, discipline, and purpose. Walani also stressed the need to instill positive values early to curb rising cases of indiscipline among learners.
We took note that as the world continuously changes, the need for a God-based value system has never been needed as it is today.
To the school, there is no turning back on performing arts because of its attributes.
It is boosting their confidence, it is improving on their self-belief, and also it is giving them an exposure to talk to a bigger congregation.
The Pentecostal Assemblies of God, Uganda, concluded its annual leadership summit focusing on sons and daughters, drawing core staff from more than 6,000 churches across the country. The gathering strengthens leadership and expands community engagement among women and young people. Our team had a chance to interact with the stakeholders.
This year's Pentecostal Assemblies of God Uganda Summit placed renewed attention on nurturing and grooming women and youth while reviewing ongoing community programs, including support to refugee settlements in Yumbe and Arua, interventions for flood-affected families in Kasese, and pastoral work in rural and urban congregations.
How do we rebuild a nation? How do we rebuild a community based on sons and daughters that we have? How do we raise them up so that they are the pillars?
The annual review is expected to underscore the need to raise a spiritually rooted, socially responsible and development-minded generation while evaluating key priorities that continue to shape the ministry's nationwide mission.
Our leaders from the highest top to the lowest, think about sons, and think about daughters. Raise them and think about daughters. Raise them up. How do we build up? That will give us a Uganda that will be very, very unique. The Uganda that goes into the 2050s, 2070s.
Discussions focused on strengthening mentorship, discipleship and education pathways while reinforcing environment.
That will be a number of trees we have. That will be not enough. I want us to have more.
Summit formation.
Disciplined so that they have life. Marry on the time. Don't marry ahead of your time.
We don't give lectures. We want to share life.
What we do here is not just lecturing, but sharing life and sharing those values which should be imparted to the woman, and the woman begins to live as a model of what God.
Just discipleship initiative and polytechnic training centers.
To encourage the youth to use their talents and the gifts, because there are some youth.
And all the youth leaders within our denomination and beyond to mobilize the youth and ensure that they embrace the changes we are going to take home.
To see how we can establish and to form a strong youth ministry and a strong leadership for the youth.
The 2025 summit is expected to highlight progress across all pastorships and reaffirm the role of women and youth as vital pillars in church growth, community welfare, and national transformation.
Strengthening adaptive capacity and resilience of communities in Uganda's watersheds is a fast becoming lifeline for families struggling under the weight of climate change. In districts like Bukedia, Sironko, Kapchora and Bulambuli, where the flooding, prolonged droughts and deadly landslides have eroded lives for years, the initiative is restoring degraded ecosystems and giving rural households a fighting chance to recover.
The Sakriak project targets the entire Awoja catchment, one of eastern Uganda's most important water systems, serving over 2 million people. Its mission is to increase resilience to floods, extended dry spells, and the recurrent landslides that have repeatedly swept away farms, homes, roads, and social infrastructure. Led by the Ministry of Water and Environment, the project is steadily helping communities shift from climate vulnerability to climate action.
Because we are planting trees in protected areas, we are planting trees on farm, and these ones will help in sequestering the carbon in the atmosphere, hence helping us in climate change mitigation.
We are looking at making them prepared by providing them the means so that when they're doing agriculture, there is drought, there is flood, they are able to withstand those shocks.
During a recent impact assessment tour, communities expressed genuine relief and renewed optimism. Many testified that Sakriak is gradually stabilizing the environment, restoring lost resources, and rebuilding livelihoods that had been crippled by decades of environmental degradation.
As a farmer, chairperson to this cooperative society, put in place to follow up and manage the wetlands. I want to extend sincere gratitude to Sakriak, Water and Environment Department for the intervention so far received. Much as there is still need, we are really grateful.
They come with three things: empowerment, ownership, and sustainability. And they do know that. They have empowered us. We have come, you see them working. They are not there, but we are working.
Since its rollout in 2023, Sakriak has restored over 6,500 hectares of degraded land using agroforestry, conservation agriculture, and wetland rehabilitation. More than 1.2 million seedlings have been distributed, valley tanks constructed for livestock and irrigation, and riverbank protection reinforced to curb destructive flash floods.
A total of 174 400 trees have been planted here, and the survival percentage is at 80%. So I know in the next 5 years, these trees will be able to absorb the carbon, thereby reducing on the global warming.
In Bulambuli, climate-smart agriculture, including bamboo farming, trenching, mulching, and terracing, is cutting back mudslides and stabilizing slopes, giving farmers consistent harvests for the first time in years.
I have also intercropped it with I've put some mango trees alongside the sides, so that as I come to harvest bamboo, I can also eat the mangoes.
Because we are having this water, we are no longer having so many cases
or fainting. And as I told you, they could faint because of water. Just taking water, which was not even there. They could only say, we don't have water, we are going home to take water. So what is life? We could just release them to go. Now, that this water, this tank that was constructed by the Ministry of Water and Environment, we are now accessing water. Children are taking that water.
Tourism actors have joined the restoration drive. In Kapchorwa, the Discover CP initiative is distributing coffee seedlings and indigenous trees, linking conservation to greener income sources and boosting ecotourism potential.
In ecotourism, we have activities like bird watching. We have quite a number of varieties of species of birds in this region, and the more the trees, the more the greener, the more the ecospecies existing in the area.
SACRIAC is funded by the Global Environment Facility GEF through the African Development Bank and implemented by the Ministry of Water and Environment alongside district governments and community structures. Project leaders emphasize that scaling up such ecosystem-based interventions is critical for safeguarding Uganda's watersheds and reducing the heavy economic toll of climate-induced disasters.
In Soroti here, or in Teso here, people were complaining why we are refusing them to use their swamps when the Palisa people are using the swamps. And you see when you pass on the way. So we could also be doing a study to say, okay, this is what we have achieved in Teso. This is what we have seen in Awoja catchment. What about now at the rears? What can we do? Now, we could also be saying, okay, if we are talking about restoring the wetlands, what is it that we also need to do in order for these wetlands to survive?
SACRIAC shows how integrated watershed management, community ownership, and climate-smart innovation can turn vulnerability into resilience. Across the Awoja catchment, families say the roots of recovery are finally taking hold, both literally and figuratively.
We would like to extend our sincere gratitude and appreciation to the Global Environment Facility and the African Development Bank who have provided the funding, and not only the funding, and also the technical support to ensure that we are able to execute the project.
Support from GEF and AFDB continues to empower communities, strengthen long-term adaptation, and inspire sustained action for a climate-resilient future.
And in more news, the Prime Minister of Uganda, the Right Honourable Robina Nabbanja, today spent the day traversing the sub-county of Birembo and Igayaza, campaigning to retain her position as woman MP of Kakumiro district. Nabbanja cautioned leaders in the district allegedly misusing the parish development model funds. Let's take a look at what the highlights had to say.
Balioni babagamba haliwo unalemeseza amashanyarazi. Amashanyarazi kanutagalete 2023.
Amashanyarazi galiho mama.
Abagamba mu Buganda isawo stalo tekere amashanyarazi nawo.
Amashanyarazi
utafune amashanyarazi abanyango
garora mama.
Enara moye. Awagira musabani ya mikono waguru. Musebe noye. Nabbanja oye. Abawagira Nabbanja emikono waguru. Manyire mutibuka tungire maizi. Nchimanye mwine ebizibu ebindike bya isomero. Kanisa nja kujja tubimalirize. Buli okangamba okwenda amaizi tutandikire kola amaizi birembo ituwe tukatongoza agenseke nako nugajja kwika abagamba mulawa Museveni akalwa emikono haiguru oluguudo mu kulwenda amaizi mu kugenda era ebyo byonna bino mu program alina bangi President akatuweereza program ya PDM ejeroleereire omuntu wa bulijjo oyiro abakuzikaba bangambiranu bakusaba sente abo muleke tuluga omukalu tubazoganye baratuwulira mukamawulira kyenakozera bakikwaye abakusaba sente za PDM ayina sente niwe naafuna kikyamu muno mukusisa ibara lya president muleke kusisa ibara lya president na government mulekera okusaba ebituga
In more news, refugee women and host communities in Terego district have identified teenage pregnancy and early marriage as a factor barring women from achieving leadership roles in their lives. This was during an engagement with the women activists and change agents in Terego district and Arua city under the International Uganda Policy Dialogue project funded by the Austrian Development Corporation.
Out of 100 girls, if 20 drop out of school due to early marriage or teenage pregnancy, meaning those who have dropped out of school may not exercise leadership skills because some of the children begin to exercise leadership skills at school. Then from there they will now go to the community later. Now if people have not seen capability in you of being a good leader, when you drop out of school, maybe at P5 or P6 there, no one will choose you as a leader.
Nowadays, mostly we really need people who are at least, who are educated, who are having some little knowledge to be at least in the high positions of leadership. But now if this girl ended up with baby or pregnant, this girl will not be able to proffer with her education. So it will affect that girl's future leadership, definitely, because the girl will not be educated.
Otherwise, before we got empowered, it was difficult for us to stand in the community and express ourselves freely. But because we got empowered, this has been a walkover for us.
Some of the cases where women's rights are violated are because of the substance abuse and so on. But I'm so grateful that the Terego District local government has come up with an ordinance. I will kindly request that if you also have some funds, you come and give us capacity building.
Through this project, as I mentioned, we are building capacities of the women activists and the change agents who go ahead to empower the marginalized and local women in the grassroots about their rights, about their economic rights, their participation in leadership, and all the leadership opportunities that exist within their localities. So,
the Office of the President has started training residents in Palisa district on fish farming to move away from traditional subsistence farming and protect the environment. Currently, some residents in Palisa, especially those interested in starting fish farming, are seeking government support to access funding and resources for fish production.
President Yoweri Museveni, during a visit to Bukedi, emphasized the government's commitment to supporting residents, particularly farmers, transitioning from rice cultivation to fish farming to prevent environmental degradation.
We are breeding fish. We expect to get 3 million
fish stock here, which is going to be supplied to the farmers who have willingly left the rice growing in the swamp to engage in fish farming or using a chimalo.
The initiative, coordinated by the Office of the President, provides farmers with skills in fish pond management, especially in areas previously used for rice farming.
Omusajja tiyebaka emyaka 40 agenda mwata tiyebaka alanirira mmwe Yoweri Kaguta Museveni mutabani wa Amosi nze nali wano nga Church Commander nze nasooka okubeera wano okubakuuma mmwe ngeri ekkubo likyali lya ttaka mukiwulidde nga ntuula wali Kameke wano wona mukyala awo sirina we simanyi nali Church Commander nga nze nkulira wano.
Training sessions have already started in Oboliso village, Limoto town, under the guidance of experts from the Internal Security Organization and Samuda.
Akati mulaba okuva wano paka Kampala Hollands okuva wano paka Mbale paka Lira Hollands kati mwagala bakolere ki mutukolere ekintu kimu kyokka mumpeere Yoweri Museveni Kaguta akayi omanyi abasirikale tulinamu enjawulo abalala bagamba nti omusirikale takkirizibwa abanawuludda naye banange bwe nali nziruka nga nva mu kisiro nga ngenda mu nsiko sinaku nakola ne application namala emyaka 5 mu nsiko bankuba amasasi wano embiriizi katono nfiireyo nalina ekibiina.
The program also teaches poultry and livestock farming to help reduce poverty while promoting sustainable livelihoods.
Abepalisa mubadde basaale okuviira ddala NRM bwe yajja nimujagalira ddala ate ne muzeeyi nimumwagalira ddala mwebale nnyo mwebalire ddala timujjanga okwo eyo ye musingi ogusookera ddala ate bwe tumala okufuna omusingi ogwo ebyokwerinda ne bibeera ddala gguluggulu.
Pamoja Junior School in Wakiso is championing a new era of education, blending academic excellence with talent discovery to build confident, responsible leaders. Learners recently showcased their impressive skills at the school's graduation ceremony, and the head teacher affirmed that the talent skills are vital for academic success. Furthermore, the Ministry of Education and Sports applauded Pamoja's outstanding performance, urging parents to continue their support to enroll learners at this fully recognized institution.
We are so excited this morning to host our beloved parents, well-wishers of Pamoja Junior School, as our children showcase talent in music, dance and drama. The most important reason as to why we have done so well to train these children in music, dance and drama is to help them break, 1, the classroom boredom, 2, to identify their talents.
At Pamoja, we are deliberate on our mission. We engage children in a variety of activities. For you who have been following us on our platform for the parents, you must have seen, we engage our children in baking activities. We engage children in farming activities on our little space that we have.
I can assure you, Pamoja Junior School is implementing the Uganda National Curriculum, which was approved by the National Curriculum Development Center. It is still a young school from baby class to P6 next year.
Arnold Wadulo School has helped me in so much things.
When I was young, I used to like singing, and I liked singing because I used to see singers on concerts happily when they're giving their speech. Now I think Pamoja Junior School has helped me to promote my talent of singing. It has taken us to many studios.
We are having mega concerts. Each class are doing the following activities: have mega dance, skits.
According to the Uganda Bureau of Statistics Census Report of 2016, in Uganda, 12.4% of the population, about 4.5 million, live with a disability. Limited access to ICT and assistive technologies increases digital disparities, prompting UKUSAF's aim to promote digital inclusiveness for persons with disabilities. The ICT for People with Disability program aims to improve the accessibility of education and technology for persons with disabilities and promote their full and effective participation in society. UKUSA is implementing this program through the creation and maintenance of an online observatory for persons with disabilities intended to link persons with disabilities with service providers and different programs that empower them, and provision of adaptive tools that enhance their quality of life through ICTs and digital skilling.
You're still watching the UBC News Tonight. Married women have been urged to remain respectful and supportive to their husbands with open communication to prevent conflict in homes. This was during an annual Pastors' Wives dinner held at Grace Redeemed Church in Tinda. The Director, Remnant Mothers and Women Coordinators, National Fellowship of Born-Again Pentecostal Churches, stressed dialogue in building strong marriages. These are the details.
Divorce rates are rising as many couples choose separation over facing challenges. This trend has sparked conversations about how women can promote understanding and stability in marriage. This concern prompted women married to Christian leaders to reflect on strengthening their families. During the annual Pastors' Wives dinner at Grace Redeemed Church in Tinda, the gathering focused on uplifting women and empowering them to nurture healthier relationships.
We are here particularly as Pastors' Wives. We have been celebrating together with the Pastors' Wives. We are in the dinner of Pastors' Wives all together. And what was happening here today is encouraging one another and encouraging women to stand in their families and strengthen their families. And actually, I have been talking to the women that as a pastor's wife, there is no divorce.
Director, Remnant Mothers and Women Coordinator, National Fellowship of Born-Again Pentecostal Churches, encouraged pastors' wives to remain respectful, supportive and intentional in communication. Dr. Esther Baze, a pastor's wife, and Dr. Betty Odongo urged women to utilize their natural gifts to contribute to their households.
So good and so nice, and I've learned a lot of things. Like a pastor's wife, one, I've learned that you need to have a neology course. That means that you have to be with an altar in your home, and in each and every trouble, each and every problem that you go through, you need to have where you run to.
As a pastor's wife, we should always be presentable. We should value ourselves because God has put us into that position to be mothers. We are the mothers of the church.
The pastors' wives collectively agreed to seek God's guidance when challenges arise instead of rushing into divorce.
Kampala Resident City Commissioner Umar Dule Mawia has cautioned leaders of SACCOs formed under the Presidential Initiatives Program on skilling the girl child and boy child against mismanagement of funds meant to help train the youth to start income-generating projects. Speaking during the meeting with skilled youth from the 5 Kampala divisions at Mulago, Lule reminded SACCO chairpersons that the money allocated to their groups must be protected and used strictly for its intended purpose.
RCC Lemawia further revealed that he had already briefed President Museveni about increasing funding to youth circles after the elections to enable more beneficiaries to benefit.
Some initiatives committed to the President, and we actually requesting the President that this can even be elevated to a higher level, but we are very grateful so far. We are realizing quite a tremendous achievement out of it. And the graduates themselves, they are so proud of it.
A large number of youth that attend the gathering sought clarification on the 50 million shillings that President Yoweri Museveni Kaguta promised them to every circle in all the 5 divisions of Kampala. And the officials informed them that 50% of the funds have already reflected in their accounts in their divisions. Dr. Mirembe Faith Katana, head of the Presidential Initiative on Skilling the Girl and Boy Child Project, confirmed that the money had already been released.
To know how do I go from here to get that money. Ebyo sibya kubaluyisawo nedda zino ziba sente za government mukitegedde ate tulina kuwa accountability n'olwekyo muwulirize bulungi.
The private secretary for education and skilling for the president, James Nambiro, also emphasized that government's intention is to empower young people through skills and startup support.
See that they come up and develop their different trades. Those who did the tailoring, those who did the carpentry and joinery, those who did the building, those who did the plumbing, the bakery, knitting, all of those. So the money is full of them. So it was very important for us to bring it out and also to be transparent.
Meanwhile, the youth who attended the meeting expressed gratitude to the president for thinking about their welfare and supporting their desire to prosper.
Kulabanga amagezi amaze okukatuwa ne capital kati agenda kumutuwa tusobole okubanga tweyimirizaawo naye nga mmanyi nteekateeka za jjajjaffe jjajja w'eggwanga lino okubanga omwana w'eggwanga abeera bulungi ng'oggyeko obugagga buli obw'abalala wabula obugagga obw'omunyumba ekinnoomu okugasa ddi ne famire n'abantu bonna muko obwekoledde amagezi agatuwadde buli abantu babadde basoma ebbanga ddene n'asoma emyaka 2 naye nga talina kyasobola kwekoma.
And that brings us to the end of our UBC News Tonight this weekend. You've been a lovely audience. My name is Wadulo Arnold Mark, and styled by Lavi Boutique on Grand Imperial Hotel, located behind Bank of Uganda, Shop 6 and 8. Have yourselves a lovely week.
UBC, inspiring Uganda.